Welcome back, episode 2. Wow, I can't believe it. It's really happening. It's a full-on YouTube channel. Thanks for coming back. If this is your first time here, which it probably is since I have 2 subscribers and I'm pretty sure it's my mom and my sister. This is Midwest Sailor. As you could probably guess, I am from the Midwest. I grew up, born and raised in Indiana. And so Midwest Sailor was kind of an homage, we'll say. I think that's the correct term. Homage? Is that right? Yeah, to where I'm from, where I grew up. All right, so today's focus of this video, we got a few boat jobs, some boat chores to get done. One thing I noticed is one of my dock lines is frayed. It looks like it's about to snap, so I do need to replace that. I do have a lot of extra line, extra rope on the boat, so I'm gonna investigate if I can kind of reuse that, repurpose that extra rope to secure our dock line. And worst case scenario, we're just gonna run out to the marine store and see if we can pick one up. Also, we just have some general cleanup organization here to do on the boats. Oh, and another thing that I do want to investigate today is I have a Dodger, the thing that goes over the companionway, the kind of the canopy that goes over it. I believe it's called a Dodger. I want to test that out, see if I can put that up, see what it looks like. You know, I talked a little bit about how I don't have a whole lot of free time, so when I do come up here, every day I got to get something done with the goal in mind of getting out to the Channel Islands and solo sailing out there and just really becoming a proficient sailor out here in the Pacific Ocean. So that's my goal. Not every day is gonna be super exciting, but each day that I come out here is gonna be with a purpose, getting something done and advancing myself and the boat to that end goal of getting out to the islands. I do kind of have to work these boat trips around my work schedule. I mentioned that I have 2 jobs. One of them is I'm a fitness studio owner. I'm a fitness trainer. I've been doing that for a long time. And recently I got into insurance sales. I'm a Medicare insurance salesman. I work at a few Medicare centers in Santa Barbara, one in Ventura County, and also down in Los Angeles. And then also my son is in high school. He is a teenager basketball player and plays all year round. So that's where a lot of my time goes, but I am gonna make time for this passion of mine. Okay, so that's basically what I got to do today. Let's get into some boat chores. All right, so we're gonna do a little walkthrough. I kind of mentioned before about the dock lines. I did go ahead and replace it with one of the ropes that I had on board, and I think it's gonna be fine. So I just wanna take you around and show you what we're working with here as far as the dock lines go, the blocks, things that I need to replace in the future. And wow, it is a beautiful day. Got a little warm out here. Water's really calm. Maybe I'll take the paddleboard out. Let's go ahead and go through the boat here and let me show you what I was talking about first with the dock line. So this right here, obviously not good when you're considering a lot of wind and a lot of current pushing on your boat. You want to make sure that that's not going to snap. So I went ahead and just threw this line on and secured it with a bowline up on the bow of the boat there. But yeah, just going around the boat, things that I am looking at as far as replacing in the future would definitely be these blocks here. This one is in kind of breaking off. This is what the line that goes up to the head sail. I believe this is called a genoa. This line should be going through this block, but it's not. It doesn't move very freely. It comes all the way down back through here. And when I'm in the cockpit and I do have the genoa up, that's what I'm gonna be pulling on to when I do a tack or a jibe and running through that block. Back through here on the stern of the boat, this is our other dock line. This one doesn't look too bad. It is, I would say, rather old and eventually could be replaced, but I think for now it's doing its job. Jumping to the other side, looking at this line. Again, it's old, but I feel like it's doing its job properly enough that I can leave it as is. And then on the starboard side, these blocks, this one looks okay. This one is not moving at all, so I'm gonna have to go to the marine store and kind of price these out and see what they cost and figure out how to replace them. Just staying a alongside the stern of the boat. Our other block, this one looks shot. It's kind of breaking off, rusty, not moving very well. But again, that's where this line should be. It should be going through there. So that's something I got to keep my eye. All right, it's time. I'm gonna get this Dodger out, or at least this Canopy. It's back here in the garage area, what I call the garage area. There used to be a whole other cushion down here, and the fuel tank is actually right there, and it was really gross, so ended up taking that out and just throwing it away, and it actually gave a lot more room. It's a little more spacious now. I can keep different stuff back there, but in the back there somewhere is a bag where I think the Canopy to this Dodger is going to be. So I'm going to get that out and attempt to put it up. We'll see what happens. This might be it. Like, it's not lining up flush. I'm not getting like a good angle to screw in. This to me does look like the way it should go. All right, so after struggling with that for a bit, what I've been noticing is that the angle in which this is going in is putting a lot of pressure on this joint here, and it's not going in flush, and it's bending the screw when I'm trying to get both sides in. Like, I can get one in kind of flush, and then the other one is it's bending as I'm lowering the second one in its slot. So it definitely is designed for that. I'm just not sure why it's like that. But this is definitely our Dodge. We've got the glass right here so you can see through it up on the front. So I think for today, I'm just gonna abort this mission, abandon ship, as we'll say. I'm gonna save that either for another day or maybe talk to one of my neighbors, see if they can help me figure it out. I should ask someone today. There's a lot of guys out today. I'm gonna put it away. It's not like a necessity that I have this to sail, so it was just something that was on my mind to have. Since I knew it was there, I wanted to check it out. For today, we're gonna just kind of put things back to where they were and figure out what to do next. I still have an hour or two that I can do something with, so we'll figure it out. All right, fuel storage. This is where the fuel tank is, and I'm just gonna have a quick look in here to see if anything stands out. The one tricky thing with this engine and this boat, there is not a properly working fuel gauge. So each time I do go out, the way to check the fuel, I don't know if this is crazy or not, taking the stick, drop it down into the tank, and that'll give us our fuel level. So I can see I'm up to about right there. But my concern, I don't want to put fresh fuel in right now. I kind of want to burn this up I just don't know how long that's gonna last me. So maybe if I can talk to Larry, the engine guy, Larry, the boat captain, maybe he can give me some thoughts on that. But as of right now, it looks like still a good amount of fuel, so shouldn't have an issue if I do take it out again. Oh, so another thing I noticed down here that I need to be mindful of when I take the boat out is where I have the anchors stored now, they're sitting right next to one of the through holes. So like one of the main holes that goes down in through the boat. I'm pretty sure that's not a great place to store an anchor. It feels like, you know, any shifting in the boat that could potentially damage that through hole and ultimately make the boat sink. So definitely gonna take these anchors out and find another spot to store them, especially when we're underway. All right, so I had the engine running for about 10 minutes. It got warm. I love it. Everything is looking and running really well. One thing that I am gonna do at a later date, I bought a new fuel filter. I don't know when the last time the fuel filter's been changed, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that in another day, another time. I did already change the oil, so that's good to go. Another thing I wanna do is talk to a mechanic. There was actually a guy who helped me with an issue before, and get him back, and I want to explore the engine as a whole, get to know it better. I feel like there's two fuel filters. I feel like we have one here, and then this guy, I don't know if you can see it, but it's back here, and that's the one that I'm gonna replace. I'm just not exactly sure. I think this is like a pre-filter. So I want to see how that's either cleaned out or replaced. Another filter I want to look at is this sea strainer. To me, just visually, it doesn't look that bad, but I want to see about maybe taking that out and seeing if we have to clean it. All right, so I got the anchors off. Now the question is, where do I properly store them? I could definitely stick one back in my garage, but I also want to have one that's handy. I think you're supposed to in case of an emergency, right? So yeah, so now I'm just kind of looking for some place to store an anchor in case of an emergency. So kind of what I noticed just now is that is an anchor holder. Very cool. So I do have two anchors. What I'm going to do is just stow one away on the boat. I'll keep the other one in that locker next to the engine, but when I'm underway, I'm going to bring one of these up on the foredeck. And so then if anything happens, it'll be ready to go, ready to deploy. But that's cool. For some reason, I actually never even noticed that this was here. Now we do have an anchor on the front of the boat. That's awesome. Not super thrilled about this bungee cord setup, but for now, for today, it's gonna be just fine. That's pretty nice though. We got an anchor, got the new shackle on it. So yeah, that should last for a bit until we get something a little bit more secure. And that feels pretty good to know that we got an anchor off the front of the boat. Wow, it is a beautiful day out here. Everybody's out getting their boat ready for the boat season. This is nice. My first boating season. I'm liking this. Eventually we're going to do a little tour of this harbor and kind of show you around. It's pretty cool. All right, that's a wrap. Episode 2. I know it wasn't super exciting today, but for myself, I actually learned quite a bit in the examination of the anchors. I noticed that it was pretty close to the through hole. I got that out of the way, so I'm not going to have to worry about that again. And then also just having a place to secure one of the anchors off the front of the boat. That was nice. Got the dock line secured, engine looking good. The fuel tank needs to be thought out a little bit more. I need to know what the capacity of that tank is, whether or not that diesel is gonna be good still, if it's old or if it needs to be drained and put fresh fuel in there. I'm not sure, need to figure that out. Worked with the Dodger today. That was somewhat of a fail, but also kind of got a better idea of what's going on with it. And yeah, just did some general cleanup around the boat, and it's kind of a shame to leave here. It's such a beautiful day, but we got basketball practice to get to, so we will be back very soon. I know, not super exciting, but for me, a great day to kind of get things in order, get a better idea of what I need to get done for future, and just kind of work on a checklist. Got to knock things off my checklist make sure I'm ready to get myself ready and to get this boat ready. And I think that's it. Just gonna say bye and thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.